Before we start, let's get few things straight. We are about to delve into the world of Final Fantasy VII Remake. That means no spoilers from the original Final Fantasy VII or the upcoming Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I'm keeping it strictly remake-centric, so if you haven't played it, either do it before Final Fantasy VII Rebirth comes out, or just stick through this video and see if it interests you. As I already mentioned in my Tifo for Tekken 8 video, I recently played Final Fantasy VII Remake for the second time and realized that I haven't done any videos about this masterpiece. Yes, I'm calling it a masterpiece this time, but this won't be a review video. Final Fantasy VII Remake isn't just your typical nostalgia trip, and I will be talking about its Destiny concept today. It's all about these spectral dudes, the Whispers, aka the Canon Ghosts, and how they shape the world of Final Fantasy Remake. How would Cloud, Aerith, Sephiroth and the gang story unfold with and without them? After all, this isn't just a what-if game. It is a deep dive into the imaginative storytelling that Final Fantasy VII Remake has brought to the table by none other than Tetsuya Nomura's lovely concept of destiny that he loves to dig into. Whether it be Kingdom Hearts or one of his most recent works, Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy Origins. I'm Arcadenaut here, and we will take a look at Destiny concept that opens up a new path in Final Fantasy VII. The Destiny concept in Final Fantasy VII Remake stands as a fascinating narrative element that alters the fabric of the game's storyline compared to the original. This concept is intricately tied to the presence and the actions of the Whispers and the ambitions of the antagonist, Sephiroth. In the original Final Fantasy VII, the story followed a relatively linear path, so to say, with the characters' fates seemingly predetermined. However, the remake introduces the Whispers, mysterious entities that serve as the arbiters of fate. Their primary role in the story is to ensure that events unfold as they did in the original game, whether it be preventing Jessie to go to Mako reactor bombing with Barret and Tifa, or again, stopping Aerith from saying who the real threat is, or kidnapping Hojo to stop him from spoiling something really big that is to be revealed in the upcoming games. To put it shortly, these Whispers intervene at various points, preventing characters from deviating from the established timeline. Their actions are a direct response to the efforts of characters, particularly Sephiroth, to alter the course of events. However, Sephiroth is the key element here, and according to the creative director Tetsuya Nomura, he is not a villain or a bad guy, but in fact, another protagonist in the remake. Sephiroth of Final Fantasy VII Remake is aware of the original game's outcome and now seeking to change his destiny. This new situation also makes people to see this new remake timeline as the sequel to the original Final Fantasy VII, and unlike the other characters who are largely oblivious to the predetermined narrative, Sephiroth attempts to manipulate the events to avoid his eventual downfall. This awareness and his attempts to change the destiny create a ripple effect, influencing the behavior of other characters and altering the course of the story. Whereas Aerith may symbolize the harmony in free will rather than discord with the destiny itself. However, the concept of challenging the fate is not new in storytelling. Traditionally, stories about challenging the fate involve characters struggling against preordained destinies, often with metaphysical or godlike entities influencing the narrative. This theme is prevalent in many JRPGs, where protagonists often fight against godlike antagonists to change their fates, whether it be Final Fantasy X, 13 or even 16. Final Fantasy VII Remake approaches this theme differently. Instead of simply allowing characters to fight against predetermined fate, the whole journey is about the concept of destiny and the player's role in shaping it. This approach is reflective of a broader trend in video game storytelling, where the interactivity of the medium is used to explore themes of fate and destiny. Tetsuya Nomura's approach to storytelling, as evident in Kingdom Hearts, showcases a deep engagement with the characters' destinies. He meticulously crafts their journeys, often intertwining their paths with larger, more complex narratives. This careful construction of character arcs and destinies is not just about advancing the plot, but also about exploring the characters' roles in a broader, interconnected universe. As the chosen Keyblade bearer, Sora's fate is intertwined with the balance of the worlds. His journey is a constant struggle against predetermined destiny and his efforts to forge his own path, especially in the face of overwhelming odds and powerful adversaries. The popularity of characters from titles like Birth by Sleep and Kingdom Hearts 358/2 Days indicates Nomura's awareness of the importance of character destinies in his storytelling. And I think he acknowledges the depth these characters bring to the overarching narrative and the emotional resonance their destinies have with the audience. In terms of game design, Nomura emphasizes balance, a concept that likely extends to how he handles destiny in his narratives. This balance involves integrating different elements, such as story, character and gameplay, to create a cohesive experience. And I believe for Nomura, the story is not just about advancing the plot points, it's about creating a harmonious blend that resonates on multiple levels. This philosophy suggests that in games like Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy Origins, the destiny concept would be integrated in a way that harmonizes with the game's overall design and narrative structure, ensuring that it feels like an integral part of the world and the characters' journeys. For Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy Origins, Nomura took a different approach. Rather than being a remake for the first Final Fantasy, it is a new storyline that uses the original as inspiration, focusing on the themes of examining the role and the goals of Warriors of Light. The story and the scenario were based on Nomura's original concept, which combined an action-focused game about conquering locations with concepts focusing on Final Fantasy's villain, Jack Garland. Nomura envisioned Stranger of Paradise as a mature, brutal take on Final Fantasy series, separating it from the rest of the franchise while retaining the connections to it. And I believe this is his vision for Final Fantasy VII as well. And if I were to go back to Whispers and Final Fantasy VII, the intervention of the Whispers start with Sephiroth's first appearance in Chapter 2. They're in fact the Earth's way of trying to preserve the plot of the original wherever they can. And they only appear because Sephiroth shouldn't be seen this early, with the Cloud and Aerith scene when they first met may have been taking too long since enemies were there, so they helped Aerith to get out of there, and not just this but from big to minor events, such as protecting Aerith in the church or even before the second bombing mission where they injured Jessie so that Barrett would be short on people and recruits Cloud. These Whispers plan to lead to destined meetings of Cloud and Aerith. If the Whispers had not been present to enforce the original events, Cloud maybe wouldn't have replaced Jessie for second bombing mission, missed his chance to meet with Aerith. Meanwhile, Tifa, Jessie and Barrett might have taken actions leading to vastly different consequences, and I believe this is what makes this new Final Fantasy VII journey so precious and intriguing, especially for those who played the original. We know what will happen according to the Whispers, and yet some of it might happen and some don't. All of this element of surprise is surely dependent on main characters of Final Fantasy VII Remake and Sephiroth. Sephiroth's role as an antagonist or protagonist according to Nomura, being aware of the original timeline, adds a new meta-narrative layer to the game. His attempts to alter destiny not only affect the game's plot, but also comment on the nature of storytelling and the audience's expectations. This self-awareness challenges the traditional boundaries of video game narratives, blurring the lines between the character's world and the player's reality. Sephiroth's conscious efforts to rewrite his destiny and the consequent ripple effect it has on the game's universe is not just a narrative tool, but I believe it's a reflection of Nomura's distinctive storytelling style. By blending the awareness of the original game's events with new possibilities in the remake, Nomura crafts a narrative that is both familiar and unpredictably fresh. And this meta-awareness brings a unique layer of depth to Final Fantasy VII Remake, inviting players to engage with the story on multiple levels, both as a retelling and a reimagining. However, there is also another side to the coin, a character that is similar to Sephiroth's awareness, but also contrasting him. One of the most intriguing aspects of Aerith's character in the remake is her apparent awareness of the events of the original game. This awareness positions her uniquely as she seems to understand the stakes and the implications of deviating from or adhering to the predetermined path laid out by the original story. This knowledge gives her a sort of awareness as well, allowing her to act with a foresight that other characters do not possess. And this time, Aerith has a more active role in the remake as she decides to actively counteract Sephiroth's plans, knowing Sephiroth's intentions and his knowledge of the original timeline. And surely, Aerith becomes a key figure in the fight against him, or play a much bigger but an impactful role than ever before. As the remake explores the themes of fate and free will, Aerith's character is at the heart of this exploration. Her actions and choices embodies the struggle against a fixed destiny, symbolizing hope and the possibility of change. Although there is a hope for change, Nomura loves his heartbreaking, warm but bittersweet endings, and I really believe the same might happen for Final Fantasy VII Remake as well. In the Kingdom Hearts series, Nomura has demonstrated his ability to blend joyful resolutions with elements of sadness or loss. The endings of Kingdom Hearts often resolve the immediate conflict, but leave characters and players alike with a sense of longing or melancholy. This approach creates a complex emotional experience, resonating deeply with the audience. Nomura's storytelling is marked by moments that are warm and deeply human, yet tinged with a sense of sorrow or tragedy. These moments often involve character relationships and personal sacrifices, highlighting the cost of the journey or the battle against destiny. Translating this narrative style to Final Fantasy VII Remake, there is a strong possibility that Nomura will infuse the game's conclusion with similar emotional complexity. And given the game's exploration of fate, destiny, and personal choice, the ending may well juxtapose triumphant achievements with poignant losses that might even be heavier than what the original Final Fantasy VII had. In bringing this deep dive into the world of Final Fantasy VII Remake and Tetsuya Nomura's narrative genius to a close, I think it's crucial to reflect on the journey we have traversed. Through exploring the pivotal role of the Whispers, the redefined destiny of characters like Sephiroth and Aerith, and Nomura's signature blend of storytelling, we have seen how the remake transcends its roots. It stands not just as a homage to a beloved classic, but as a bold reimagining that invites both new and seasoned players to ponder the themes of fate, choice, and the consequences. As we anticipate the future chapters of this reimagined saga, one thing remains quite clear. Nomura's penchant for crafting emotionally resonant, bittersweet endings promises to leave a mark on the conclusion of Final Fantasy VII. The journey ahead, undoubtedly filled with the moments of triumph and heartache, is set to captivate and challenge us in equal measure. This blend of nostalgia and innovation, familiarity and surprise, is what makes this journey a masterpiece in its own right. And at the end, this new Final Fantasy trilogy offers a narrative tapestry woven with the threads of destiny, where each twist and turn is a testament to Nomura's storytelling prowess. And as always, thank you for watching today's video. What do you think about the destiny concept and Nomura's way of shaping Final Fantasy VII? Don't forget to join my Discord channel and follow me on Twitter. Any humble support through Patreon and YouTube join is really appreciated. I will see you soon. I've got lots of plans for the new year. Merry Christmas, stay safe, and stay tuned.